And good evening to you. I'm Chief Meteorologist Chris Holcomb from the 11 Alive Weather Impact Team. I'm doing a special weather update here on Thursday evening as Thursday Night Football is going on. And we've got the big game here on 11 Alive with the Cowboys and the Eagles. And they are in a rain delay right now. So as the folks on NBC are trying to fill some time here waiting for this rain delay to be over, we thought that here on streaming it would be a good idea to talk specifically about the weather and show you radar about what is happening right now up in Philadelphia, just to give you an idea of maybe how long this delay might take. And as you can see there in Philly, we've got a good little cluster of rain that's coming through the area right now, and there has been some lightning with it as well. So that is what is making this delay that we're dealing with right now. And what they're telling us is that the earliest they could resume play would be around 11:15, but then they would still have to have about a 12-minute warm-up potentially, and that is if there's no additional lightning out there. So that's the earliest that we could see things resuming. Right now it's about 10:44 here in Atlanta. So I want to just show you what we're watching with this rain that's pushing through the area. Now, Lincoln Financial Field, all right, what I want to show you is the bulk of the really heavy rain is on the north side of Philly here. Lincoln Financial Field is right down in this area here, in an area that's just getting the light rain so far. So it's looking like this really heavy rain that is on the north side is going to bypass the stadium where the game is going on right now. So what we have to wait for really is just this cluster to move through and take away any lightning that's with it. So you've got the north end, this is 76 right here, the north end of that perimeter area that goes around Philly. That's where the bulk of that really heavy rain is coming down. But where we see Lincoln Financial Field, it is more down in this area along 95 and 76, in this area right here where the game is taking place right now. And that is an area that is so far just getting some light rain. So what we do here is look at any additional showers that could be moving in, and we still have some of this rain stretching back toward Ridley, Chester, Logan, East Greenwich, Paulsboro, on down toward Claymont and Upper Chester. But that looks like just general rain, and we're not really seeing much in the form of lightning with any of that. But again, we just have to wait for this entire cluster really to move through. So we do have a delay going on right now. I don't think it's going to be crazy long, like 3 in the morning or anything like that before this ends. But I do think it is just going to be a little bit longer. We just have to win. Again, that heaviest rain is on the north side of Philly right now, and that's going to keep moving up 95 here toward the north and to the east. And so the location of the stadium there on the south side is really the better place to be right now, rather than if the stadium was up here. So the stadium is down in this area right here, and so they're just getting some of that lighter rain. But again, that lightning with those heavier showers up to the north is close enough for us to have that delay that's taking place right now at Lincoln Financial Field. Speaking of that, I have a live tower cam here for you where you can see. Now, I know it's dark. I'll put this up full screen so you can see it a little bit better here. But you can kind of just see the sign there, the lights there on the stadium saying Lincoln Financial Field. You also see the lights there that are in the stadium. Traffic is moving, visibility. Okay, now I don't know if that was just a glitch in our camera or if that was actual lightning. Now, here's the deal. When you have lightning at night, it can be visible from really far away. And it might not be that there's lightning, of course, right there on top of Lincoln Financial Field. Those could have been some lightning flashes from the distance, because at night, of course, we can see that lightning from tens of, miles away. Okay, there was another little flash that I see there right now, but again, that looks like lightning from the distance. I'm not sure if just them seeing lightning visible, just flashing from the distance, if that's going to be enough to add more delays to this or not. But as you can see, it's not like crazy rain coming down on Lincoln Financial Field right now there in Philly. Again, this is a live view of the stadium that we're looking at right now. So there is some light rain coming down. We are seeing flashes of lightning from the distance, but the lightning isn't right on top of the stadium there. But still, it is close enough for them to have some delays. So as you can see, this is the rain that we're dealing with right now on radar with these showers and storms that are continuing to move on through the area right now through Philly. And again, the stadium is located down in this area on the south side. And the heaviest of the rain is on the north side there, pushing up toward the north and to the east. So if we can just get this through pretty quickly and get that lightning out of the area, then we should be able to see the game resuming, not too far away. But again, the earliest that it could be looks like it would be around 11:15, plus then they would have to have some warm-ups there too. So just wanted to give you this update. We have this additional rain though, stretching back down to the south. We're not seeing any lightning with that part of it. So if we could just get the lightning part of this away and far enough away that it's not going to be a danger, they could still play even with some of this light rain that's still going to linger before it finally exits and moves through the area. Let me show you our high resolution rapid refresh model, and I've zoomed in to the Philadelphia area here as well. Now you're not going to see the labels on here, but this is the area that we're watching right here. So this was that same circle, almost like the bypass around Philly on that map that I was showing you here. And it is showing the bulk of the moisture here to the north, and then all of this well to the north there. So as I put this into motion, I'm just going to kind of manually go through this right here. This shows still at 11:30. Kind of has cleared out of that area where the stadium is located there in Philly. So it is moving at least. It's not sitting on top of Philadelphia and just sitting there raining and raining over and over again. At least it does have some movement in it, and it's a relatively small cluster of rain that is pushing through. So it shouldn't take too long for this to get through there. And again, this is the circle area there, the bypass that goes around. And if this modeling is correct, and the high resolution rapid refresh does update a lot more rapidly to give us a better look more, of short term of where these systems and how they're working there. So this does show that rain moving out, we think, before really 11:30, and then continuing to pull away. So this is at 1 in the morning. We'd like for things to get resumed a lot more than that, but there's still, midnight and 12:30, there's still some heavier rain well to the north, but at least it should be drying out here over the field relatively soon. So I don't think this is going to be a crazy long delay, but the problem is whenever you have lightning, depending on what the specific rules are from the NFL and that particular stadium, usually it's at least a 20 to 30 minute or sometimes even longer delay after the last lightning strike before they can resume play. And if there's a new lightning strike nearby, then that countdown starts all over again. So the latest that I had heard right before I started this stream here was that 11:15 would be the earliest that they could resume play, and then they would have about a 10-12 minute warm-up before they would actually start playing as well. And that should time out. If we could just get that lightning out of there, that should time out with what this model is showing us for those storms that should be moving out. So let's go back to it. You can see here's radar. And as we mentioned here, it's not like a big area of rain that's going to be there for hours and hours. It is really this cluster right here that we're watching that goes, here's Philly, there's Washington, Wilmington here. You've got, lower Oxford. Let me zoom out a little bit more so you can get a good perspective here of these areas that we're watching. So out of the whole scheme of things here in the mid-Atlantic region, and I'll zoom out so you can see Atlanta. So what we're talking about, and we've got a few scattered showers still lingering here in Atlanta as well, but here's Atlanta here, here's Washington, and you've got Philly right up here to the north here, right up in this area. where we have those showers and storms that are moving through at this hour. And so we're having to watch those push on through. Here's the downtown area, and that rain is under the name here. I'll zoom in tighter, but you see to the north, that's where most of that rain is that's feeding on up here through parts of getting into New York, as well as through a big part of Pennsylvania here, continuing to push up toward the north. But let's get back down to Philly, and you can see these areas that we're talking about right here, where really that heaviest part is actually moving pretty quickly, all right? So again, we're talking about this circle right here, and on the bottom part of this circle that goes around, almost, their bypass that goes around Philly there, it's in this bottom part here where we have Lincoln Financial Field. So that heaviest of the rain is really between now Cheltenham and Cinnaminson here, up 95. So that heaviest part is moving out pretty quickly. And that's the part of the system that was generating most of that lightning as it continues pushing up toward the north and to the east. So we have light rain left behind in Philadelphia, and that might stick around for just a little bit, but that shouldn't be an area that is producing any lightning. So here's a little closer look at that. We've got the light rain all around that goes down to the south towards Paulsboro, East Greenwich, Chester, Logan, Ridley, Upper Darby here, which is to the west of Philadelphia. So this is all lighter stuff that also should move up toward the north and east rather quickly as well. We zoom in tighter here to that lower part where we would see around 95 and 76 and then 676. So 676 is the bypass, okay, that goes around. It's got 76 here, you got 95 here, and then 676 around it. Here's 95 that actually goes up to the north here, right along the river. So we're talking about this area down here is where the stadium is located. So the heaviest of the rain, I'm going to zoom out so you can see that once again, and this has been moving. This is a good, I'm glad it's got motion with it and moving, getting out of here. So when they had the rain delay, or the delay issued, is when we had that red developing right here on the north end of 676, all right? So since I've been talking to you really for the past, 10, 15 minutes now, we've seen that move from northern Philadelphia here quickly up 95. And that's where it should be taking the lightning with it and moving away from those areas of Philly. So since the stadium is located on the south part here, on that south part of the, if you want to call it the perimeter, like we call 285 here, the perimeter, this is 676 here. Since the stadium is on the south side, that's even farther away from that heavier rain than if it was up on the north side there. But still, we have some of the light rain that is coming down. Let me give you another live view. This is our tower cam that we have in Philly, and I'll put this up full screen so you can see this a little bit better, where, again, you can see the name there in lights. You can see the stadium lights there too, but it's not like we have crazy rain. Now, if you look here below, in fact, I'll get in front of the key and kind of point out some of this stuff. I don't know if I just saw another lightning flash from the distance or not, but look at the parking lot here and the streets around there. They're still wet from some of that rain. That has generally been on the lighter side over Lincoln Financial Field right here. You got the green lights going there. Of course, the stadium lights are on. But it's not crazy rain. Visibility isn't reduced. It's not like it's really heavy out there right now. It's just that we're still dealing with some of the lingering showers along with that band of heavier rain that was on the north side that generated that lightning, and that lightning was close enough to the field within a certain amount of miles that they had to have the delay for this game. So the big question now is, if we're going to see any more flashes of lightning, and so here's what happens at night. Of course, it's nighttime, it's dark. You could have lightning 50 miles away and still see it from a distance. But that doesn't mean that that lightning is nearby. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's been many times when we could have, rain here in Atlanta, and then it's lightning up by Lake Lanier. And even in Atlanta, if we're looking up toward the north on a dark sky, we could still see those lightning flashes. There have been many times when I've been driving home at night and the rain is already out of the Atlanta area and out of Gwinnett County, and I know that it's lightning up in, let's say Cleveland, Georgia, up around Helen. As I'm driving north and east, sometimes I can still see that lightning from the distance, but the lightning is not on top of us. But at nighttime, you can see that lightning from far away. So what we're going to be not worried about, but what I'm curious about is that if the officials on the field see the sky flash lightning, but that lightning is really 10, 15, 25 miles away to the north and east up 95, like I was showing you earlier, if they're going to count that as the last lightning strike, since it's kind of from a distance. So that's just kind of the interesting part that we'll have to see there, whether or not they're going to start that clock all over again. And if you're just joining us, excuse me, what I explained a little while ago is that many times with these lightning delays, it depends on what the specifications are from the NFL and also from this specific stadium, what their lightning plan is. And I know a lot of times where you may have a lightning strike and they'll say, okay, no one can go out on the field or go out to play or warm up or anything for, let's say, 20 or 30 minutes after the lightning strike. And let's say you wait 10 minutes or so and you think you're getting close to that expiration time, and then there's another lightning strike nearby that resets that clock. And then you have to wait another 20 or 30 minutes again, whatever their specifications are. So it depends on what they're counting as that last lightning strike. Now, since I've been talking to you here, I haven't really seen any additional lightning strikes here looking over Lincoln Financial Field. So hopefully that count is moving along. And the last that I heard is that the earliest that they could play would be 11:15. Then they would have to have about a 10, 12 minute warm up or so, getting the players back out on the field and warming up again before play could resume. So hopefully that is the direction that we are moving into right now with everything that's going on right now up in Philadelphia. Again, that's the live view of the stadium right now as we are waiting for that play to resume. But, you might be watching, if you're watching NBC right now, the coverage there, and seeing, the team on the field or the broadcasters on the field talking about this, and you might be like, it's not really raining that hard. What's the deal? Well, it's just waiting for that lightning time to expire so that they can get back out there on the field. And so that's why we wanted to give you this update here on streaming because we know you're hungry for information too. You want to go to bed, right? And so you're interested in finding out, is it worth staying up a little bit longer? And I actually think it is, because I don't think this should be a crazy long delay. Now, it's not going to be, I don't think it's going to be 2, 3 in the morning based on what I'm seeing right now. But now the question is going to be, as we're watching, again, the stadium is down here on the southern part there of their perimeter or their bypass that goes around the city, right down here. The heaviest of the rain, though, and that lightning was on the north side of the city. Now that is racing up pretty quickly up 95 toward the north and east. So the good news is that heaviest rain and the most intense part of that storm is moving up toward the north and the east. So that should be taking the lightning away with it. And that should make way for that timer to keep going and hopefully expire soon so that the players can go back out and so that you can continue watching the game. So we'll zoom in a little bit tighter. Even though, so here's Palmyra right here, all right, going up 95. As that goes up. So this is now north of Palmyra. This is Philly here. And again, on the south end of this perimeter area there at 675, that is where we see the location of Lincoln Financial Field here. So they're still getting some rain, but it's relatively light. So it'll depend on what the officials there are looking at, whether they're waiting for just that lightning countdown to expire so they can get back on the field, or if they're waiting for the rain to end. Now, I know football players can play in the rain. It's just not the lightning. So that's going to be the big question here as to what they're going to wait for, the lightning countdown to continue to expire, and also waiting, to see how maybe this rain is going to be letting up. But as you can see, it is moving, and it's not just sitting there stationary right on top of them. So that's a good thing that at least there's some progress with this moving up toward the north and east and moving out of the area. And we actually should see the back edge of this rain come into the southern part here actually pretty quickly, maybe within the next 15 minutes or so. The rain should be ending as well, and then things should be better. And then there's not really anything else moving in. As we widen out a little bit more, you can see this is the part here that we're watching moving up toward the north and east. There's still a little bit of this back to the north and west, but not really anything to be overly concerned about. I don't think this back here to the west would have any lightning with it. We'll keep an eye on that little cell right there. That's between Lower Oxford and West Goshen, just to see if any of that will develop any lightning with it. But this is that main part that continues to move quickly up those areas of 95. You get in tighter here once again. So this is 95. This is 295 right here. And then this is that area of 695 that goes around it. 676, I'm sorry, that goes around it. So we should see some improvements very soon. So I think it's worth, okay, they just told me in my ear that as of right now, based on what we're seeing and that lightning moving away, is that the game should be resuming at 11:30 p.m. Okay, all right, warm up at 11:15. They just refined that in my ear here. Warm up at 11:15, and then the game resuming at 11:30. And that really times out with what we're seeing here on radar 2, because that bulk of that heavy rain that was producing the lightning is continuing to move quickly up toward the north and to the east. And really by the time the warm-up starting, and that's going to be about 10 minutes. This is 11:05 right now. About the time the warm-up is starting here, we will see the rain moving out too. So not only is that lightning getting out of the area, but also the rain is going to be pulling out too. So thank goodness this is moving, and thank goodness it's a relatively small cluster of rain and lightning that is pushing through the area. And that's going to keep moving up toward the north and also to the east here. So the lightning part is gone. As I just showed you again, let me go back to our tower cam here in Philly, right at Lincoln Financial Field. And again, things are looking a little bit better. I'll put this back up full screen so you can see that a little bit better here, where we're not seeing heavy rain coming down, just a little bit of the light rain still left over on the back side of the system. It is that heavy rain that was producing the lightning on the north side that is moving out. So we're getting better news now. Number one, this has motion with it. It's not a large area of rain and thunderstorms. It was relatively small, but again, close enough to the stadium for that lightning for them to have this delay. Now that is all moving out, and it's 11:06 right now. We are hearing that the game will resume. Actually, the warm-ups will resume at 11:15, and then the game should resume at 11:30. So, yes, I think that's worth, if you're fans here and watching, that is worth staying up and watching the end of this game. It's just a little delay. What would this be? Maybe a 45-minute delay? Maybe a little bit longer than that. So, at least we'll get this game going. It's not like one of those things where everybody's sitting around till 1 or 2 o'clock in the morning waiting and wondering, what they're going to do. So it's just a little delay. It is set to resume, and again, as you're looking at Lincoln Financial Field right now on that tower cam, we are not really seeing any other lightning strikes from the distance there either. So things are looking great to resume this game, and that should be good for you guys. Now, you just may have to stay up a little bit longer. You might be late to work tomorrow based on what we're going to be seeing the game going a little bit later than we think. We're going to be here till after the game too to do our newscast tonight afterwards. So that's what we're watching. We do have some showers here in the metro area that are moving out. I'll zoom into those really quickly here just while I have you. So you can see those showers that we're watching. And a lot of these have been lingering with us for a while. We have some on the north side from Rome and Floyd County moving into North Fulton, a couple of showers there. South Forsyth, some of that's going to move into Gwinnett. The most active part has been up here in northeast Georgia, where we're seeing those showers move through. Still with some thunder and lightning up in parts of Franklin County, pushing over into Stevens County near Toccoa and over near the area of Lake Hartwell. Back up to Philly though right now. Okay, this is looking a lot better, all right? So this is moving along with pretty much the projections that I was showing you on the high resolution rapid refresh just a few moments ago. That was showing the back edge now of the rain pulling away. Look at that. That part here that had the lightning with it, that red that you see there, has already moved. In fact, I'll show you how far away. Let me put this into live mode right now. And you can see here, I'm going to show you how far away that, let me put it back into live mode for you. I want to show you how far away that rain is from the stadium. Again, the stadium is down here on the south side. So this heavy rain right now that had the lightning with it earlier is now 21 miles north and east of Lincoln Financial Field here, all right? So here's the field down just south here on that south end. All the way 21 miles to the north and east is where we have that pocket of heavy rain and that part of the thunderstorm that was producing the lightning. So that's pulling away. Now we just have this left behind, the light rain. I'll get that ruler off for you. We have just the light rain left behind that is going to move on out. So everything should move along as planned. It's 11:09 right now, where they're telling us that the players will start warming up at 11:15, and then the play will resume around 11:30. I don't expect to see any more lightning out of this part at all. In fact, the rain, the back edge of this, is pulling away and moving away. So if you have to have a delay, at least this was one that wasn't prolonged, and at least this system was moving and wasn't sitting there stationary on top of the stadium and everybody waiting for hours and hours and hours for the lightning to end. Because as you know, here in Metro Atlanta, we can get some of these lightning storms that come in and they stick around for a while, and the lightning never seems to end. If you've ever been part of a swim team on these summer nights here in Metro Atlanta, you know that sometimes I know a lot of the swim teams have their meets on Thursday nights. That is so frustrating that you think that it's about time for the kids to get back in the pool after a lightning delay, and then there's another flash of lightning. So, and that's a lot of times with stationary pop-up storms that are nearby. But this one is at least moving, and it is quickly taking that heaviest rain and lightning now well up to the north of Willingboro, moving closer to Hamilton, right there. Let me put this back here. Let me erase that, and we'll go back here to this mode. Yeah, taking everything well to the north. So improvements going on, not only with the lightning moving out, but now the back edge of the rain is going to be pushing out as well, moving up toward the north and also there to the east. So we just wanted to give you this opportunity. The cool thing we have about streaming here on 11 Alive Plus and on Weather Impact 24/7 is we wouldn't break into programming to do something like this, but we're able to give you information that we think that you're hungry for and looking for. And if you were watching the game frustrated, wondering, should I go to bed or should I not go to bed? Is this going to last for 5 hours? Is it going to last for 45 minutes or what? So we wanted just to kind of walk you through and help you make that decision by showing you what was happening here on radar, showing you the live cameras as well on what is happening there. But we really have some good news to pass along, and I'm glad that we were able to kind of track this system as it was moving away and out of the area, and no more lightning in association with these storms now. What is left is just that little bit of light rain, and now we are on the back side of that system as it continues to move away. Let me leave you, before I leave you here, I want to give you another live view at Lincoln Financial Field. And I'll put this up full so you can see here what we're watching with the rain that's pulling out, It never was too heavy over the actual stadium there, but that lightning was nearby. And again, we're not seeing any additional lightning strikes there, so things are looking good. All right, we're coming up on 11:13. The players are going to be allegedly coming back out on the field to warm up at 11:15 with the game resuming at 11:30. So I want you to have the opportunity to get your TVs back going to 11 Alive right now and NBC so you can kind of hear what the commentators are saying as the players are warming up, and then enjoy watching the rest of the game. And then if you think you're staying up late, we'll be up a little bit later. Stay with us right here after the game on 11 Alive and 11 Alive Plus for our newscast coming up after the game tonight. So thanks for joining us for this extended weather update, not really on Atlanta weather, but on Philadelphia weather, tracking the rain pushing through as we wait for this delay for the Cowboys and the Eagles continuing their play coming up in just a few minutes right here on 11 Alive and on NBC. Thanks for watching. We'll have more local weather updates for you later on tonight and throughout the day tomorrow.